She's back.
Okay, all good to go. Good afternoon, everyone. Anyone out there that may be watching this being televised this afternoon, welcome to you all. And we'll proceed with the beginning of the meeting. Hindmarsh Shire Council acknowledges this meeting is being held on the lands of the Watchabollock, Jardwa, Jarli, Werrigai and Yappavolk nations, and we acknowledge them as traditional owners of country. We recognise the important ongoing role that Indigenous people have in our community and pay our respects to their elders past and present. This meeting is being broadcast on the internet and the recording of the meeting will be published on Council's YouTube channel and linked to Council's website. As a visitor in the public gallery, you may be filmed. By remaining in the public gallery, you consent to being filmed and for the recording of you to be made publicly available by Council. A copy of Council live streaming and recording of Council meetings policy is available at the back of this room and the Council website. Please speak with one of our staff members if you have any questions. I'll now hand over to Councillor Clark to read out our statement of values. Thank you, Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Mayor Ismay. Our commitment is to come prepared to every meeting, fostering a respectful and inclusive environment where accountability and approachability are at the core of our actions. We value and encourage innovation, collaboration, and open communication, always keeping in mind the well-being and needs of our community. Together, we stand united as one, working towards shared goals with mutual respect and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. Okay, item 3, item 2, apologies. Do you have any apologies?
At the moment, Councillor Barker.
Okay, I'll take Councillor Barker as an apology. Okay. Declarations of interest. Is any councillor or officer with a conflict of interest in any item on the agenda must indicate their conflict of interest by clearly stating whether you have general or material conflict of interest. Is there anyone with a conflict of interest? Councillor Boy.
Yes, I have a conflict of interest for 10.4, a general conflict of interest, because I have association with the Timbula Arts Inc.
Yes.
And also 10.6, a material conflict of interest because I will be submitting the Women's Theme Park Festival application when it comes due.
Thank you. And I have a conflict of interest in item. Told me before. All right, I should have wrote it down.
10.12.
10.12 and also
10.4.
10.4. Thank you.
Yeah,
any other?
I have a general conflict of interest in item 10.4 as my husband is a member of the Dimboola Golf Club.
Yeah, but is he a very good golfer?
I will refrain from responding.
Right. Thank you. All right, we'll move on. Item 4.2, business arising from previous minutes. Public question and submission time.
There are no public questions or submissions. Oh, the motion for minutes.
Oh, sorry. Where did I see that?
Mayor, I can move the recommendation.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My apologies. Yep.
Yes, I'll go and move the motion that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on Wednesday, the 1st of April 2026 at the Nil Council Chamber, 92 Nelson Street, Nil, as circulated to councillors be taken and read as confirmed.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Barry. No one's against the motion. All in favour? Against, motion carried. Thank you. No public question time. Councillor activity reports. Deliberative panel in Dimboola I thought was very good, and thank you, Councillor Barry, for rousing up some extra people there on the day. That was really good, and there was some good input there. And we had some industrial land and housing discussions with Bernard Young and also Wayne Street in Rainbow, and had a bit of a look around the place, which was really good. Wayne Street's I think a very good operator, and he was happy to come to Rainbow and talk with us. tour of the Japarra Weir, I think, has been talked about a little bit, and I think it's such a great area. And I did do these same tours some years ago when Tony Doyle was still the CEO, and I think everyone was fairly impressed with the day. And meeting up with some of the local and expats from Japarra to talk about the Japarra Weir was very good and very well supported. And I think everyone is on board with trying to see what we can do to have the weir replaced. The show ambassador gala dinner in Horsham, I attended, and along with Councillor Barker. I'd never been invited to ones before, and I didn't know they existed. And it was quite a good night to go to. And there was a young girl from Nil there, and also a young gentleman that was had previously been one of our youth councillors that was a runner-up in one of the awards. And I wasn't aware that the AMP societies run ambassadors and that, and these young people are recruited to help promote the shows and stuff. And it was quite a great night. And they had a crop competition as well. And yeah, it was an interesting evening. It was held in one of the chook sheds in Horsham. It was a fairly cool night, but anyway, other than that, it was great. So Davis Park the next day, grandstand opening after an awful long time, and it's just such a great facility that they've got there now. And I can remember the old one being there and how we talked about trying to renovate it and do all sorts of things. And I'm glad it was beyond repair, because this new facility is just, really out there. And it's a great asset to the Davis Park. And I think we could all be very proud that we've been able to make that happen. Tour of Dimboola and Nil. I think I wrote 88.33% of the council went on a tour of the Dimboola and Nil, and that was actually, I think it was the 88.3 on the Wimmera River. But anyway, there was 4 of us that went on a tour of Dimboola and Nil, and I thought that was really good too. We looked at different things in the different places here with the old sale yards and a few other things, and the old grain corp site at Dimboola, and the water ski area at Dimboola, and also the proposed development on the Wimmera River. All very good things to be able to look at firsthand, and it's always really good to be able to get out there and have a look at these things firsthand. And the only other thing that I've done is a tour of 3 out of the 4 towns with Councillor Aitken on Anzac Day, and came here for the dawn service, and then went to Dimboola, and then back to Japarra, and met up with Councillor Barry in Dimboola and Councillor Clark in Japarra. So I think Hindmarsh Shire Council was reasonably well represented on Anzac Day. It was a great day in all the towns I attended to. I'm sure Rainbow was no different. Anyway, I'll now hand over to Councillor Aitken.
Thank you, Mary, mate. I'll go backwards, seeing you brought up Anzac Day services, and thanks for taking me and inviting me around that morning. I was dressed up in my defence bling. So look, I hadn't been to an Anzac Day dawn service in Nil for many years, which I did come across with Councillor Ismay many years ago, and there was a number of people there. But I was amazed with how many people turned up at the Nil morning service or the dawn service. It was great to see how many people turned up, and it was an honour for me to go there that day in in uniform with Councillor Ismay and Councillor Barker. After that, as Councillor Ismay said, we went to Dimboola and did the mid-morning service there and back to Japarra. And then I headed up to Rainbow to do my normal Anzac Day visit to the hospital, which was always good to have a sit down and chat to the old folk up there. But getting back to some of the other jobs I did, fortunately I was away for a couple of weeks on defence work So I did the lunch and dinner online learning session, which was quite good. I did that from home. Glad that I have good service now at the farm through our link with the up in the sky with Elon Musk's Starlink. It's been terrific. It's the first time I've had really good service ever out bush, and it's the first time I've ever had internet at the farm. So it's been many years to come along. The Wimmera River boat trip at Chaparrot. I didn't actually go on the boat itself. I've done it many times before, but I went down and visited with a couple of different committees, the town committee and a number of interested locals regarding our weir, and we had a great discussion on site at the weir at Chaparrot on the Wimmera River. Very important thing to get this weir over the board at some stage in the near future. So the balls are in the air at the moment for funding, and it's what we've got to look for. Not only funding from government or independent funding from somewhere. So anyone out there in our community, grounding community, if you have some funding, please send it our way to get this weir over the line. And that's about all I did for the month.
Well, it wasn't all you did, but it's all you did for council. Okay, right, councillor Barry.
Yeah, it seemed like a while ago we had a heavy transport and freight working group meeting in here. It's actually good that a few guys are coming in, a few of the farmers and the local freight guys, and telling the Shire what to do and where to do it and how to do it. And sometimes the Shire listen, sometimes they don't, but it doesn't matter. It works both ways. I think they're getting along good. Look, I also went on that boat trip at Chaparrot. It was a Friday afternoon. I'm glad we didn't go too close to the weir because it's going to break one day. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And if it floods a town, it floods. Unfortunately, it needs to be fixed, and let's just, lobby for some money. The next day, I went up to Davis Park for the grandstand opening. Me being a Dinboola boy, I was a little bit jealous. It's an awesome venue, wouldn't it? Yeah, but anyway, that's how it goes. And look, to their credit, they won their senior football, and it was just a good day. And I think the club would have done very good out of it. They had heaps of food and heaps of drinks. Great day. I also went on the bus trip. It was good to see, like back, I think it was, 10, 12 years ago, I actually took on Dinboola Caravan Park. We went and had a look at that. And the change to that is actually amazing. It is so clean and, and everyone that goes there, it's like, might as well a big four, top five. And they've just taken on Nil Park. And if they do what they've done in Dinboola to Nil in 4 or 5 years' time, it's going to be a credit to what the Shire can do. Hey, what else did I do? Oh, and that bus trip, yeah, went around other bits and pieces. I went to Anzac Day. It was good to see Councillor Aiken dressed up in all his stuff, but it is sad. We just don't want any more wars in the world. That's about all I done, which is a bit.
All right, thank you. Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I did the BLGA online psychosocial hazards. That was a great learning experience. With friends of RSL, they're involved in that. It's fantastic to see what they're doing there. I did assisted with the Rainbow Lions Club working bee, and they had a bit of a wood cutting exercise, pulling some wood out of some piles and cutting it up. Got involved in that. That was fantastic to see members of our local community being involved with that. Obviously, council briefing, council meeting there on the 1st of April. Chaparrot Town Advisory Committee meeting. Look, it's always great being involved with these guys. Just trying to do so much and move ahead. Again, the same with the Wimmera Mallee Pioneer Museum meeting on the 21st of April. Certainly a lot of people there very passionate about looking after that fantastic facility there. Anzac Day, I was very lucky for my wife and I to attend the dawn service at Japara. And I could just say, quite a emotional experience there. I was really impressed. Probably 40 to 50 people were there for the dawn service at Japara. That was a fantastic thing. I then went back to Rainbow and for the commemorative service and laid a wreath on behalf of the Shire. Normally, I'm on the other side of the fence watching the service. To be involved in this time was certainly a different experience, but a fantastic experience. And then I returned back down to Japara for the service there as well. If I may just digress slightly there, I laid a wreath there, and I did have a bit of a moment when I walked up to the to lay the wreath, and one name that stood out for me was A.N. Clark, deceased. It took me a little bit later on to recheck that and find out it was A.H. Clark. So I sort of thought, well, I'm still breathing, thankfully. So again, just a fantastic service to be involved with. Then it was back to the Japarrett Hall and helped one of our local volunteers there, Jake Smith, fantastic fella with the community. Gave him a hand on cooking the barbecue. I'd like to say I gave him a few pointers how to get the sausages right, but I think it might have been the other way around. So just fantastic to be out in the community and just being involved. It's certainly just an experience. So thank you.
Thank you, councillor Clark. Councillor Oy.
Thank you. I guess the start of the month, the first thing I did was help discuss the top tourism town application with the economic and development team. So I think it's the first time Dimble has been submitted. So it's exciting. So you can get a glimpse of the video clip that was produced on the Visit Hindmarsh Facebook site. So check it out. So that formed part of the submission. So to give you an idea of what was required, we had to find a target audience for the application, and within that target, we had to create an editorial, an itinerary, and a video clip targeting that target market. So you can see that, and the finalist results will come out on the 21st of May. So we'll see if Dimbulla, gets into the finalist. It was good to attend the deliberative panel session in Dimbulla to see the community members could contribute to the vision of the Shire. It was fascinating seeing the interim report from Melbourne University about the experience of refugees settling in regional Victoria. Overall, the report gave a positive report of 81%, saying had a positive experience. And once again, Neil reflected the positive example of how refugee groups can settle in a positive way and contribute to the community. I attended the Federation University to show the shared table documentary to the Horsham audience. That's currently being aired at the Melbourne Documentary Festival, which is really good. Harmony Day was fun. It was the first time Harmony Day, multiculturalism, diversity groups, and the Pride community all coming together at JBX Park, I should say, and that was a fun day. What else? The Japarrett Rimmer cruise on the Japarrett Whirlpool was my first experience. It was good to experience firsthand the beauty of that area, seeing birds, in their natural habitat, and really just highlighting for me how important that area is, and of course the weir as well, because with the weir gone, that pool will disappear, right? Yeah. So until you go onto the water, you won't see that perspective of Japarrett. And that was the first time, so I really appreciated that. The opening of the grandstand was a great experience to see that full of people and being used. So that was great to see. The Dimbulla Dash, the first time that's taken place in Dimbulla, and also utilising the Rimmer Discovery Trail. Around about 300 people came from all over the state and interstate to attend that. It was quite remarkable. Bus trip between Newlands and Bulla was good to see, you know, the different areas that I wouldn't normally get to see for future developments, and that's very exciting for the area. And then, of course, the Pride Committee, you know, doing good work, and that's getting noticed by people from outside the Shire. And that's really it for me. Thank you.
All right, thanks, councillor White. Welcome, Mrs. Rell.
Oh.
Would you like to speak with any of yours?
I'm happy to take it as.
Hey, Red? Right. Item 7, correspondence and a recommendation. Councillor White,
I'd like to move the motion that council notes the attached correspondence.
thank you. And a seconder. Councillor Aiken. No one wants to speak against the motion. All in favour? Against, motion's carried. Thank you. Item 8, assembly of councillor records and a recommendation. Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. Look, I move the motion that the council notes the assembly of councillor records as presented.
Thank you. And a seconder, councillor Barry. No one wants to speak against the motion. If not, put the motion. All in favour? Against, motion carried. Thank you. Item 10, reports requiring a decision. 10.1, draft annual budget incorporating revenue and rating plan. This report presents the draft 2026-2027 annual budget incorporating the draft revenue and rating plan in accordance with the Local Government Act of 2020. The report includes a recommendation that council approve the draft 2026-2027 annual budget incorporating the draft revenue and rating plan for the purpose of public consultation for the period of 7th of May 2026 to the 7th of June 2026. The draft budget has been developed to balance the retention of existing community service levels, maintenance and renewal of assets, and new initiatives to improve amenity and make Hindmarsh a better place to live. One of the key focuses of this draft budget, shaped significantly by community consultation, is addressing the priorities identified in it by our residents. The community has told us that roads and pedestrian infrastructure are the highest priority. So we are investing 4.411 million into road construction, resheets, reseals and final seals, curb and channel and footpaths, both maintenance and capital works. The total amount to be raised by general rates and charges in 2026-2027 is $10.63 million, which is an increase of 0.285 million from 2025-2026. The draft revenue and rating plan includes differential for farms and commercial and industrial properties, 10% discount, recreational properties, 50% discount, and non-farm vacant land, 100% penalty. The draft 2026-2027 annual budget includes capital works of $6.435 million. Key initiatives for 2026-2027 include roads, gravel resheet of Perenna Road, shoulder resheet of Old Minyip Road, shoulder resheet of Pidgic Bus Route Road, road construction of Diaper Swamp Road, road construction of Dimboola Minyip Road, road construction of Lauchlan Netherby Road, and drainage, major culvert replacement. Other major capital works include replacement of essential plant and equipment as well as upgrades to the Dimboola pool. Other initiatives include continuing to provide council grants for events, community groups and businesses, an allocation towards the Nil Aviation Heritage Centre foyer upgrades, continued provision of Hindmarsh pools, including the scoping of an unstaffed access model, increased promotion of holiday parks, including membership to Big Four as a park partner, and standardising community forms across council. I'll now open up for discussion. Are there any questions? Councillor Lloyd.
Maybe for Miss Rebel. So the fair go rate system sets out the rate for the year for 26, 27, we're at 2.75%. The previous year it was at 3%.
Yes,
What causes the decline considering we've got increased costs?
Yes. Each year, a recommendation is made to the Essential Services Commission
Yeah.
in relation to a range of factors, and then they will make a recommendation to the state government on the rate cap, and then the state government will then make a decision. So this year, unfortunately, they've looked at CPI and they've looked at a range of measures. I'm not sure if you've seen, but the state government is all about cost of living pressures with community members, and they've set the cap at 2.75. But as you're aware, our costs are increasing significantly above 2.75%. I'm happy to give an example. In next year's budget alone, we've budgeted an extra $300,000 for fuel. That well and truly exceeds the cap. And then we also are seeing significant increases in our insurances. And so we are, if you look at our budget, we are tightening and we are being as efficient as possible. We're looking for grants at every opportunity because they help us to continue to deliver the services that the community expects, and they absolutely deserve as well.
Cool, thank you. So we've got challenges ahead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Councillor Barrick, sorry.
The 4.411 million that our Shire is spending on our roads, how much, do we know what the federal government spend on their roads? Just to get, look, it's only hypothetical. If they spend half that, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? In our area. So our roads aren't nil to Parrot, the highway, and nil to the Rainbow, is that correct?
As in state government?
Yeah.
So state government are your C-class roads along with the Western Highway. So they're major linking roads.
And that money is nothing to do with that?
No.
No.
So the $4 million here is just for council roads.
Let's hope they fix theirs too.
And I think it's been stated so many times, and I think it's a great measuring tool, our road network in our Shire that we have to maintain is equivalent from driving from Nil to Darwin. And when you put it in that perspective, it's an awful lot of road network that we're obliged to repair and maintain with nowhere near enough money to do. So we're on beyond the 8 ball all the time. Anyway, further questions? Comments? No?
Move the motion.
No? Thank you.
I'd like to move that council approves the draft 2026-2027 budget, incorporating the draft revenue and rating plan for the purposes of public consultation in accordance with the local government 2020. And form 2, give public notice of the preparation of the draft 2026-2027 budget, incorporating the draft revenue and rating plan, inviting written submissions from the public for the period from Thursday, 7th May 2026 to Sunday, 7th June 2026. Point 3, considers public submissions and the formal adoption of the draft budget, incorporating the draft revenue and rating plan at the council meeting on Wednesday, 24th June 2026. And point 4, authorizes the chief executive officer to undertake minor editorial changes to the draft 2025-2026 budget, incorporating the draft revenue and rating plan if required.
Thank you, Councillor Loy. Is there a seconder? Councillor Aiken? Is there anyone to speak against the motion? If not, would you like to speak to your motion, Councillor Loy?
I'll just say, I think moving forward, it's about really juggling the budget and looking after it really, closely and managing it tightly, in which I think the council is doing very well. Thank you.
Right. Councillor Aiken?
Thank you. Same as Councillor. I agree with that as well. Thank you.
All right. Nothing further. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? The motion carried. Thank you. 10.2 Council Plan Actions Q3 Update 2025-2026. This report presents Council with an update on progress of items identified in the Council Plan Actions for delivery in the 2025-2026 financial year. Annually, Council adopts a set of actions that aid in the achievement of the objectives within the Council Plan 2025 to 2029. The actions correspond to the themes identified in the council plan. Our community, built and natural environment, competitive and innovative economy, good governance and financial stability. Quarter 3 covers the 1st of January 2026 to the 31st of March 2026, with actions against each item detailed with progress indicator in the table within this report. Key achievements in the quarter 3 include completion of the Hindmarsh outdoor pool season and commencement of the post-season review, screening of shared table regional heroes at the Nil Cinema, commencement of participation in the Business Friendly Councils program, completion of the McPherson Street raised pedestrian crossing in Nil, curation works completed at the Wimmermelly Pioneer Museum, starting the rollout of the online business directory, My Cities, on council website, completion of the industrial land business case, and I'll now open it for discussion. Are there any questions?
Maybe one for Miss Crew. For new people who want to move to the Shire, here you've got, or maybe you can explain more about the drafting of new residents guide for the Shire.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, and we've had our fantastic new manager community strategy and engagement start, and this is a project that she'll be working on. What we'd like to see is something that signposts people to key things that are happening in the community, key services, key council functions, and make sure that it survives over time. We'll work with town committees and real estate agents to make sure that they're available to new residents, but also that we have really strong information online.
Further questions anywhere? If not, there is a motion.
Yeah, I'll move that the council receives the council action plan actions 2025-2026 third quarter update.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Clark. No one wants to speak against the motion?
I'll speak for it, David. There's a lot in there, and there's a lot. Did you want me to or not?
Yes.
It's good to see there's a lot finished, but there's still a lot to do in the last quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, ongoing and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
keep up the work.
Okay. Councillor Clark.
Oh, no, I just concur with councillor Barry. Thank you.
All right. Nothing further. Put the motion. All in favour? Against? The motion's carried. Thank you. Okay, 10.3 quarterly financial report, quarter 3, 2025-2026. The quarter 3 financial report for the 2025-2026 financial year has been prepared, including explanations for material variances. This report provides council with a summary of financial performance against budget, highlights emerging financial risks, and outlines the other relevant matters for the quarter. As of 31st of March 2026, council reports a year-to-date surplus of 909,587 compared to the budgeted surplus of 3.5 million. The variance is primarily attributable to the early receipt of 50% of the financial assistance grant in 2024-25. Whereas the budget anticipated quarterly payments. Additionally, actual depreciation expense is high due to asset revaluation and indexation conducted in June 2025 after the finalisation of the budget. Cash held at the end of the quarter 3 is 12.5 million. The higher cash balance is attributable to the early receipt of the financial assistance grant and the timing of capital expenditure, with several projects carried forward from 2024-2025 for delivery in 2025-2026. Council has also received the final payment of Phase 3 LRCI grant of 840,000 during the quarter following a successful audit. Council has spent $3.9 million on capital works against a $5.2 million budget. mainly due to timing of road projects being weighted to the second half of the year. Most capital works projects are projected to be completed by June 2026. And I'll open it up to discussion, or are there any questions? No? All right.
Been a tough year. Fuel goes up.
All right, well, see, you want to comment? Would you like to make?
I'll move the motion that council notes a third quarter finances report to 31st of March 2026.
Second it. Councillor Clark? No one wants to speak against the motion? Would you like to speak to the motion?
No, it's these tough times, that's all it is, and hopefully we come through the right side at the end.
Okay, councillor Clark?
No, again, I agree with councillor Barry here, but yeah.
Okay, nothing further. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion carried. Thank you. Item 10.4, Community Action Grants 2025-2026, round 2.
Councillor Wade. Mayor, if you're happy for me to explain to the community, we're just going to have some adjustments to meeting procedures because of conflicts of interest on this item. So we'll have a motion regarding the election of a temporary deputy mayor.
Oh, okay, thank you. So I'll just read this out. Yeah, okay. So that in accordance with section 13 of the governance rule, council elects Councillor Barry as deputy mayor for the duration of item 10.4 and 10.12 due to the absence of the deputy mayor and the mayor's declared conflict of interest. So do we have a seconder?
I'll second that, thank you.
All those in favour? Against, motion carried. Thanks.
I'd like to move that given to the ability to achieve a quorum for the recommendations, motions owing to declarations of conflict of interest, council resolves in accordance with section 67 of the Local Government Act 2020 to split the matter into two separate motions. The first, determining the grant allocation for Rainbow Archive and Historical Society, and the second, determine all other allocations.
Do you have a seconder?
Yeah, I'll second that there. Thanks, councillor Barry.
All in favour? Yep, well done. Thanks, guys. Carried.
Okay, I'll declare a conflict of interest in this item. Thank you. Sorry.
So now we're going to deal with the Rainbow Archive Historical Society separately. So.
We're right there then.
So I would like to move that the council awards $872.73 GST inclusive to the Rainbow Archive and Historical Society through the round 2 of the Community Action Grant Program.
Do we have a seconder?
Yeah, I'll second that. Thank you, councillor Barry.
All in favour?
Yeah.
Carried.
Is
Anyone to return? Conflicts of interest are a good thing. It means we're having a go.
Yeah.
So we can't means we're helping out our community.
Oh, definitely. Being involved.
So he's back.
Yep.
Okay.
Councillor Ismail will continue to chair.
And then I would like to declare conflict of interest for 2.4. Thank you.
And Mayor will also declare general conflict of interest for 10.
Okay.
Oh, just wait till the CEO leaves the room. Mayor, I'd like to move the council approves the following funding allocations through round 2 of the Community Action Grants Program 2025-2026. They being number 1, the community assistance being a grant of $1,000 to the Dimboola Arts Inc. B, a grant of $743.43 to Menzies Symposium. Number 2, small equipment being a grant of $1,000 being to Kenmare Community and Historical Committee. A grant of $943 to Dimboola Golf Club, and 3 for events. And a grant being of $350 to the Netherby Community Inc. and a grant of $500 to the Nil A&P Society Inc.
Councillor.
I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a mover and a seconder. Does anyone want to speak against the motion? If not, put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion's carried. Thank you. And councillor Hoy can return to the meeting. And the CEO. Didn't say that, I think. But we'll let you in again. Okay, item 10.5, Capital Works Progress Update. This report presents council with an update on progress of the 2025-2026 Capital Works Program. This program includes projects carried forward from the 2024-2025 plant purchases, road construction, building maintenance and major projects. The program is progressing well with the aim to complete most of the project before the conclusion of the financial year. Over the past 9 months, the crew have completed 549 customer action requests and graded over 250 kilometres of council gravel road network. A summary of progress against each project is included in the body of the report. I'll now open to a discussion and if there are any questions.
It looks like most things are done. I think that's good. Hopefully you can have everything done. What happens if we get 3 inches of rain? Farmers are going to be happy and the Shire's not.
Well, we'll just have to wait for the favourable weather to come and help us out. But, you know, we'll create the moist condition in our gravel road network and the dirt road network, and we'll not need the water in there during the rain.
So we want the rain for the crops in the road.
But we need the farmers to have a good year with the current situation. Could I just ask, with the Tarranyerk East Road was over budget, and then the 3 items below, well, probably a few more underneath are under budget or slightly over, have they counteracted each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all, balanced.
Yeah. Councillor Clark.
Mayor, if I may ask the question, I've noticed that there's roadworks occurring in Federal Street, Rainbow, and that it has been advertised previous that we're going to reseal the complete part of Federal Street there. Can you just explain, please, what this initial works is? Is it initial works, or is this all that the Shire is doing in Federal Street?
So
You're talking about what's happening now.
Well, what's happening now versus what the council has said. The council said we're going to reseal the entire of Federal Street, but at the moment we're only seeing minor works in small patches.
Times are tough. I think we're just going to do that and leave it.
No. So to do this reseal, it is important to get all of the minor patches completed before, make it ready so that we can seal it when it comes, when the contractors comes in. There's no point sealing it now and then repairing the minor patches later on. So, so the minor works will be completed and then the contractor.
And these minor works are works that need to happen because
before we put the seal.
I don't want people thinking that here we are doing some work and then, in a short period of time, we're gonna just reseal the whole lot. This minor works needs to happen to stabilise the entire
That's right.
street and then, yeah,
And
thank
then
you.
reseal will come, and then we'll do the line marking as well for
Yeah.
the parking lot.
Which is going to include wider and also disabled parking spaces.
That's correct.
Yeah, which has been on the agenda for an awful long time. Yeah. All right, thank you. Are there any other questions? Anything from anywhere, from anything else? No? If not, there is a recommendation. Thank you.
I'd like to move that council notes the capital works 2025-2026 update. Thank you.
Thank you. And a seconder?
Yeah,
Councillor Clark? No one wants to speak against the motion? Anyone like to speak for it? Councillor White? Councillor Clark?
No, I think we're just going real well there in relation to the current climate. So I think we're doing very well with our capital works.
Yeah, thank you. All right, put the motion. All in favour? Against, motion's carried. Thank you. 10.6, grant program review.
I'd like to say conflict of interest.
Okay, righto, thank you.
Good worker.
Okay, this report discusses proposed changes to council's 3 current grant schemes: regional community events, community action grants, and business assistance grants. The 3 distinct grant streams are designed to strengthen community wellbeing, support local economic activity, and encourage vibrant events across the municipality. These programs provide financial assistance to community organisations, event organisers, and local businesses to undertake projects that contribute to the social, cultural, environmental, and economic development of Hindmarsh. Proposed changes to the grant stream include: for business assistance grants, a name change to business boost grants, increased allocation of $5,000 to $25,000, 10,000 of which will be reserved to conduct free business training. For community action grants, a name change to connected communities grants, an increase of 4 streams: active, social, creative, and resource communities. The introduction of tiered events funding and the emphasis on home businesses and agribusinesses being eligible. For the regional community events grants, a name change to regional events sponsorship framework, reduction in funding to 25,000, and a focus on major events only with 1 early round and then rolling expressions of interest for funding. So I'll open it up for discussion. Questions?
It's only mainly name change, isn't it? A few dollars difference, isn't it?
Bit of both?
Yes, I'm happy to expand on that. It is a name change, but it's also bringing the council grants in line with the council plan and some of the strategies we've been working on. So for the connected communities grants, we now have a stream specifically for sports and rec, because we have the sport and rec strategy and fair access. So there'll be funding that sporting clubs will be able to apply for.
Right, we have a recommendation there.
Could I move that recommendation that the council adopts number 1, the business boost grants guidelines, number 2, the community connection grant guidelines, and number 3, the regional events sponsorship framework.
Thank you, Councillor Aiken. A seconder, Councillor Barry. Does anyone like to speak against the motion? If not, would you like to speak to your motion? No. Councillor Barry? No, if not, put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion is carried. Thank you. Councillor Oy can return. Okay, item 10.7, Hindmarsh domestic animal desexing policy. The Hindmarsh domestic animal desexing policy provides the operational framework for delivering the cat desexing action identified in the Domestic Animal Management Plan 2026-2029, supporting council's obligations under the Domestic Animals Act 1994 to promote responsible pet ownership and reduce animal nuisance. The policy strengthens council's ability to meet key priorities in the council plan 2025-2029, including healthy and safe communities, improved township amenity, biodiversity protection, and equitable access to services. The policy also helps mitigate strategic risks such as environmental impacts, reputational issues, legislative compliance gaps, and financial pressures arising from unmanaged cat population. The report seeks council endorsement of Hindmarsh domestic animal desexing policy for community consultation for the period of 3 weeks from 7th of May 2026 to the 28th of May 2026. I'll now open it up for discussion and questions. Council.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if I may, Mayor. So what we're seeking here is, with the report, is basically that we're opening up for a community consultation in relation to this policy.
Yep.
There's certainly not going to be any action in changing the policy. I'm assuming it's just simply to open it up for community consultation. Is that how I'm seeing this?
Yep. So this is the new policy that we are introducing, which will mandate the desexing of the cats before to register.
Yep.
And the policy will be put out for community consultation for the 3-week period to seek community feedback. And once we receive the community feedback, we will incorporate the feedbacks into the policy as much as practicable, and then bring it back to the council for adoption.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? If not, we have a recommendation. Councillor Clark.
Mayor, look, I move the motion that council endorses the Hindmarsh domestic animal desexing policy cats for community consultation for the period of 7th of May 2026 to the 28th of May 2026.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Aitken. Anyone like to speak against the motion? No, you'd like to speak to the motion?
Oh, look, it's certainly cleared up in my mind, Mayor, that what we're doing is we're looking at having a new policy in relation to this. But what we're seeking today is just simply to be able to put it out for community consultation so that our entire community can have a say on the matter before it's voted on.
Yeah. Thank you. Councillor Aitken.
No, thank you.
All right. Put the motion, all in favour? Against, the motion's carried. Thank you. 10.8, summary of planning permits approved under delegation Q1 2026. This report summarises the planning permit applications approved by the CEO under delegation from the period of 1st of January 2026 to 31st of March 2026. It includes planning permits approved under the Vic Smart process. A total of 3 planning permits were approved during this period. Are there any questions? Councillor Clark.
Mayor, yeah, just to make this clear, essentially we gave our Chief Executive Officer delegation to approve certain planning permits and that fit a set criteria. Now I'm assuming these are the only 3 that have been applied for and do meet that criteria, and therefore that's what you've been able to approve.
So there's numerous planning applications that have been received, but during this period, from the 1st of January to the 31st of March, there were 3 where a decision was made. So there were no objections. They were straightforward planning permits, and so they were decided under delegation. As you're aware, if there's any objections or if it's a complex planning permit, for example, it might be somebody wanting to put 3 or 4 units on a property, then that would come before council.
Yeah, thank you.
Any further questions? If not, I vote.
Yeah, I'll move that the council notes the planning applications approved by the CEO under delegation for the period 1st of January 2026 to 31st March 2026, Q1 of 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. And a seconder?
Yeah,
Councillor Clark.
Yeah.
No one wants to speak against the motion? you'd like to speak to the motion?
No.
No, that's Clark.
No, I think it's very clear. Thanks, Mayor.
All right, put the motion, all in favour? Against, motion carried. Item 10.9, Tarranyurt Quarry. This report seeks council approval to advertise its intention to dispose of the surplus land currently known as Tarranyurt Quarry, located at 289 Grieg Road, Antwerp, Lot 1, TP 218879. The property is 192.59 hectares, comprising of approximately 92 hectares of farming and approximately 100 hectares of salt flats. Community feedback on the proposal will be sought via council's Have Your Say page for the period of 4 weeks from Thursday the 7th of May 2026 to Thursday the 4th of June 2026. Are there any questions? Councillor Barry?
This is just for the old quarry. So there's nothing left in there. It's all been cleaned and done and rehabilitated, I assume.
Yeah, so last time we produced the material was 2017-18. It has been rehabilitated and there is a lease agreement with a farmer who is farming that property at the moment.
So if someone comes and buys it, are they allowed to reopen that and try for more or not?
Well, we've done the test in several locations. There is some material, but it doesn't meet our quality. And it's not in the quantity that will be viable for us to open that pit up. And that's why we have surrendered our work authority. But if someone comes and they do the investigation, if they found it's sustainable for their business, they can go.
Yeah.
They will have to apply for the work authority first and then potentially the planning permit as well.
Thank you, that's all.
Further questions? No? Not, there is a recommendation. Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. Look, I move the motion that Council 1 gives public notice by advertising for a minimum of 28 days Council's intention to sell the land located at 289 Grieg Road, Antwerp, under section 114-2 of the Local Government Act 2020, and 2, undertakes a community engagement process in accordance with its community engagement policy, in accordance with section 1142B of the Local Government Act 2020. I also, number 3, obtains a valuation of this land for sale from a registered valuer in accordance with section 1142C of the Local Government Act, and 4, receives a further report at the end of the notice period with consideration of submissions received.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. Is there a seconder? Councillor Barry? Anyone like to speak against the motion? Not? Would you like to speak to your motion, Councillor Clark?
No, I think it just made it pretty clear in my motion, Mayor, what our progress steps are here. So thank you.
Councillor Barry?
No, well, if we're not using it, might as well get rid of it. It's cost us money. Might as well put it in the bank and spend it somewhere else. Fix a road.
All right. All right. Nothing further. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion is carried. Thank you. 10.10, contract variations due to impacts on fuel pricing. Council is experiencing increased cost pressures across multiple contracts due to fuel and bituminous product price escalation. Driven by global oil supply disruptions, several contractors have sought temporary contract variations to address these impacts, with the potential for further requests to be received. The proposed variations are evidence-based, limited in scope, and subject to twice monthly review to confirm ongoing necessity. Variations to current contracts need to be considered to comply with Road Transport Contractual Chain Order issued by Fair Work Commission on the 20th of April 2026, which requires fuel recovery of increased cost of fuel from the road transport industry. To support timely decision-making and continuity of essential services during this period of market volatility, Council is requested to delegate authority to the CEO to negotiate and approve current and future temporary variations directly related to fuel crisis. Now I'll open it up for discussion. Questions?
It's not rocket science. It feels like that much. They can't allow for that in their quotes 10 or 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Mayor, if I may ask, to delegate authority to the CEO to negotiate, I'll say at this stage, temporary ongoing variations, I think it's just going to be common sense because fertility in the world's just up and down that much at the moment. And I think that's probably a fair thing for the CEO to be able to make that decision.
yep, okay. Nothing further? We have a recommendation.
Yeah, I'll move that the council authorises the CEO to negotiate and approve current and future temporary contract variations directly attributed to the current fuel prices to ensure compliance with the road transport contractual chain order. Fuel cost recovery 2026.
Councillor Barry, is there a seconder? Councillor Clark? No one wants to speak against the motion? If not, Councillor Barry, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, it's a pity. Look, fuel's off.
Councillor Clark?
No, look, Mayor, I just think that, I think nearly the worldwide or Australia-wide, we're going to run into issues like this in various forms, so.
Okay. Put the motion, all in favour? Against, the motion is carried, thank you. 10.11, reallocation of funding to the 2025-2026 reseal program. This report recommends the reallocation of $300,000 of council funds towards the 2025-2026 reseal program. Council officers have identified the need to supplement the capital works program with contractors to complete the own source expenditure requirements of the Roads to Recovery program. This is due to the requirement to complete the grant funded projects within the required timeframe within the grant agreement. 4 roads have been identified for investment into resealing. These include Lachlan Station Road, Lachlan East Road, Rainbow Nil Road and Dimboola Minyip Road. Undertaking reseals on these key strategic routes will enhance the useful life of the sealed road pavements. Are there any questions?
Just maintenance in it, putting loose gravel on top of the old stuff to make it last long. That's it.
Yeah, well, it's putting the seal on top of the existing seal to renew to get rid of the oxidation.
So what happens if you don't spend that $300,000?
So we have the obligation to meet the on-source fund in relation to Roads to Recovery funding. So we're spending our money under the roads, and this $300,000 expenditure is eligible as on-source funding, and having this will ensure that we meet our requirement. And if we don't meet the on-source requirement, there is a risk that we might lose the Roads to Recovery funding, which is $1.9 million every year.
Yeah. Huge amount of money.
Not enough, I think, councillor Wayne. Needs to be 2.9.
All right. Any further questions? If not, there is a recommendation.
Thanks, Mayor.
Councillor Clark.
Thank you. Look, I move the motion that council reallocates $300,000 of council funds towards the 2025-2026 reseal program to ensure the Roads to Recovery program main source fund requirements are met to reseal the following strategic routes, and that's Lachlan Station Road, Lachlan East Road, Rainbow Nil Road, and the Dimboola Minyip Road.
Thank you, Councillor Clark. And a seconder. Councillor Lloyd. No one wants to speak against the motion? If not, Councillor Clark, you want to speak to the motion?
No, I think it's pretty clear we need to reallocate these funds to continue with our Roads to Recovery money, and hopefully that'll cause the state government and federal government to give us more money for our roads next season.
Okay. Councillor Lloyd.
Yes, we have to spend money to get more money.
Yep.
Thank you.
Righto. Nothing further, put the motion, all in favour? Against, the motion is carried, thank you. Item 10.12, policy updates. Should I read this out?
To declare interest.
Okay, I declare a conflict of interest in this item on the agenda, so I will leave the room.
Not attachments, this is. Yeah, this report presents 4 policies for adoption and 3 draft policies for consideration and endorsement for a period of public consultation. Policies presented for adoption are as follows. The public interest disclosure policy, which outlines how council will handle reports of wrongdoing. The fraud prevention policy and plan, which details how fraud will be prevented, detected and responded to within the Hindmarsh Shire Council. The procurement policy, which outlines the measures which must be taken in procuring goods and services to ensure a fair and transparent process is undertaken. And the councillor expense entitlements policy, which defines the parameters for reimbursement of necessary out-of-the-pocket expenses incurred in carrying out the duties of a councillor or delegate committee member. This review specifically addresses the provision of a vehicle for the mayor or councillor use in carrying out official duties. These policies, with the exception of the councillor expense entitlements policy, have been available for a period of to the community consultation through Council's Have Your Say webpage from Thursday the 2nd of April, 5 p.m. till Wednesday the 22nd of April 2026. No feedback was received from the community. However, officers have made their minor administration changes and include the procurement of a councillor and employees specialist training for personal development as qualifying for a market engagement exemption. The draft policies presented for endorsement to be made available for a period of public consultation are as follows. The grants administration policy, a new policy which outlines that council grants will be administered in terms of oversight, transparency and community benefit. The hardship and financial hardship policy, which now addresses both financial hardship and hardship arising from other personal circumstances. It provides a framework for managing payments, ensures options offered are proportional, consistent and clearly communicated. The native vegetation on rateable land policy, which outlines the rebates available to properties with existing arrangements with council through land care management agreements or conversations on convents. Any discussions? Councillor Clark.
Yeah, Councillor Barry, I just wish to discuss the councillor expense entitlements policy, and I can see it's been out for public review through the Have Your Say there. At this stage, I just have to admit I'm a little bit confused with this, and I may need further consultation in relation to it.
Yep. Got
Yeah, so I'll move a motion to cover that.
Yep.
Okay, so I'd like to move a motion that that council adopts a public interest disclosure policy, B, the fraud prevention policy and plan, C, procurement policy, and then point 2, endorses the following policies for a period of community engagement from the 7th of May 2026 to the 28th of May 2026. So part A, the draft council grants administration policy. Part B, the draft hardship and financial hardship policy. Part C, the draft native vegetation on rateable land policy. And the third point, take further time to review the councillor expense entitlements policy.
Yeah. Councillor Berry, if I may second that.
all in favour?
Thank you.
Righto. Carried. Do we get Ron back? 11.
Page 102.
Thought I was gonna run out of pages. Okay, item 11.1 advisory committees. And there's attachments there for all the advisory committees. And a recommendation, pretty straightforward. Councillor Clark.
Yeah, Mayor, thank you. Look, I moved the motion that council one and notes the minutes of the following advisory committees: the Rainbow Township meetings held on the 16th of February, the 23rd of March and the 20th of April 2026. B, the Nil Township meeting held on the 7th of April 2026, the Japarra Township meeting held on the 13th of April 2026, and the Hindmarsh Pride meeting held on the 15th of April 2026. And two, the financial statements for the month of March 2026 for the following advisory committees, they being the Japarra Township, the Nil Township and the Rainbow Township.
Thank you. And a second, councillor Barry.
Yeah.
No one wanting to speak against the motion?
I'll speak for it, if you like.
I think the mover might be entitled to first, sorry. Clark.
Yeah, I've moved that. Thanks. I don't wish to speak to it at this
Councillor Barry.
It's good to see there are a lot of town committees. They're virtually all volunteers and they do a fair bit of effort. And they make the show's job a bit easier, I'm hoping.
Yeah. And give us feedback and direction. Okay, nothing further. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion's carried. Thank you. 11.2 community asset committees. And again, there's a recommendation.
Yes, I'd like to move that. Councillor Ismay, I move that the council notes the minutes of the Wimmera Pioneer Museum Community Asset Committee meeting held on the 17th of March 2026.
Thank you, councillor Aitken. And a second, councillor Clark. No one wants to speak against the motion? If not, you'd like to speak the motion? No, councillor Clark.
No, look, I just similar to what Councillor Barry says, I've attended one or two of these meetings and they're certainly very passionate and doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Nothing further. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion is carried. Thank you. Item 12, late reports. There aren't any. Notice of motion. There aren't any. Item 14, other businesses. Other business, sorry. Councillor Oy. No. Councillor Barry.
No other business here.
Councillor Clark.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Councillor Aitken.
No, thank you.
Well, I might just have. I raised this issue with a director of infrastructure earlier in the day regarding a couple of a laneway and a footpath crossing with people with gophers. And I would believe with the volume of gophers, this was just one incident that was brought to my attention in Rainbow today and last Saturday. But with the volume of gophers and mobility scooters and things that people are getting around with now, I really believe we probably need to have a fairly good look at a lot of these issues and maybe get consultation from people. Like one of them was a laneway that's very, rough and the water of the heavy rains have washed some of it away, making it quite maybe dangerous for people with gophers and things. That was what was suggested to me. But this is probably a Shire-wide thing that we should probably be looking at from time to time.
Yep. So the footpath inspector actually has the schedule to inspect it.
Yeah.
But our inspection is on foot. So the gopher, what people experience on gopher might be difficult to gauge on the foot inspection.
Absolutely impossible, because one of the concerns was that this lady that reported the issue to me is that the gopher bottoms out. That's right. You aren't going to bottom out walking.
No. So a member of our Rainbow Town Committee has offered to do the drive around on a gopher or the wheelchair.
Yeah.
To identify the issues. So once that gets completed, they will be handed over to us for future planning of the rectification works. Both of the issues that you reported have now customer action requests created. One of them was already reported by the laneway was already reported before, so that's already been.
I did suggest to that person that they put in a customer request.
And generally,
But wouldn't this be this issue would be in Nil and Dimboola and Japarra as well?
Yeah.
So maybe we need to get people to do assessments of some sort in those towns as well.
No, it will definitely be helpful if we so wherever we get the request from the customers, we try to address them as much as the budget allows to us.
Yeah, okay. Councillor Clark?
I was just going to say, Mayor, I know someone with a gopher that'd be able to lend it to you, so you can conduct the Shire-wide. Probably is Yannick as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a big battery.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, I think it's just like I said, there are an awful lot of people getting around on gophers. It's their only means of transport these days, and I think it's something that we need to make sure that they are able to access, just not at their properties, but parts of all the towns. So I just thought I'd mention that. Right, nothing.
I was just going to say, Mayor, in all honesty, I think that's a great idea to do that Shire-wide.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Other than that, confidential reports are none. Late confidential reports, there's none. To all the people out there that have watched council this afternoon, thank you for your indulgence, and we will talk to you again and be with you again for our next meeting.